Welcome to round 4 of the championship at a brand new venue, the Valencia Street Circuit in Spain. And here is the track, runs around the Valencia harbour. It's quite a slow technical circuit with only 1 or 2 fast sections. It's the turn 18 to turn 25 section. It promises to be a quite demanding race due to the tight confines of the street circuit. And in Q1 we saw a brand new team, not a brand new team, but a new team making the race this season, the old experienced hand of AJ, thanks to a stellar lap from Nick Heidfeld. As a result, Dodgem were knocked out of pre-qualifying. Here we ride on with one of the impressive men of the season, Bruno Senna, as he takes you round for a lap around Valencia. Turn 1 is an easy right-hander, braking between the 150 metre board into turn 1 and 2, which is a chicane, braking at the 50 metre board for the next chicane. Missed the first apex there, but anyway, driving towards the next section near the C. It's a hairpin, and then left kinking over the swing bridge for right-hander. A slow one into this very, very long straight. Expect to see most of the overtaking happen here. Braking down for the very hard for this corner. Then a double left-hander. Fairly quick right-hander into the back straight, number 2. They reach the top speeds quite quickly here, and that's the second intermediate point. Already 1 minute and 7 seconds into the lap. All this quick section now. It's quite exciting for an FF1M driver. Now over these left-right kinks, braking hard for the final corner. Missing the apex a little bit, but nevertheless, looks like a good lap, 1 minute 32. Can Kimi Räikkönen top that for Pedersen? No, he's only half a second down there. There's Nick Heidfeld for the AJ team with an Andy racing right behind him. It's their first race of the season, so I don't expect them to like the timesheet so much. That's 3 seconds down. Here's Buemi. Crossing the line for 4th place, so he takes over Heidfeld's position, and Vettel takes 3rd behind his teammate. Bourdais goes 4th, 1.1 seconds down. Jarno Trulli for Mitchell. Buemi has kept him honest, I have to say, throughout the season. So the fight between those two drivers will be very interesting. As more drivers are setting times. PK goes 9th. He has been the bulk of Andy Racing's points, as he seems to have the better race pace. Here's Giorgio Pantano. Made a mistake at Malaysia and raced okay at Imola. He went 4th and Kubica went 8th. Here's Takuma Sato, Nick Heidfeld's teammate. Sato announced before the season started that this would be his last and that he would move on from FF1M. But he's in a race for the first time. Here's Jenson Button, and he is just a 10th down on Bruno Senna, so this is going to be a close one. If he can get this last few corners right. Out of the final corner, powers Button. He does go 2nd, he's just 1.5 tenths down on Bruno Senna. Jarno Trulli on another lap, he's improving on his splits. He matched his split exactly in the first one, and he moves up to 6th. So good last sector from Jarno Trulli. quick update on the FF1M situation. They've had their feature and sprint race here. Vitaly Petrov for Spaniel Racing, it's the sister team for Tornado, won the feature race, and Lucas Di Grassi won the sprint race once again. So he leads the championship from Petrov. Elysian for STV has slipped down to 4th, and everyone expecting Felipe Massa to dominate the championship, and he hasn't done so far. He is beginning to make his way up. He finished 2nd in the sprint race. Fernando Alonso on an attempt. Won the last race at Imola, of course, and scored 2nd place in Malaysia. On the harder tyres, he's half a second down on Senna and goes 4th. And here is Bruno for Shannon Racing. Improves his own lap time to go 3/4 of a tenth up on his own time. So here's Suttle now for Andy Racing on the softer tyres. Needs to use these to get a good grid position. And 11th on the softer tyres is perhaps not the best result. But Andy Racing have gone much better than last season, so they have been one of the most improved teams. Here we look at Boemi for Mitchell going around the first sector. Here you can see the times at the moment. Senna from Button, Raikkonen was 3rd, and he missed the top 10 there, that's my bad. Bourdais 9th, Hamilton 10th, Suttle 11th, Maldonado 12th. Kubica down in 13th, expect E-Racing to do better than that. They are on the harder tyres, of course, so a few drivers would be quicker than E-Racing. Here is Christian Klein on a lap. Appears to be leading the charge for E-Racing, which is surprising because we know how talented Kubica is. But Klein has upped his mark somewhat. Here he rounds the last corner of sector 2. He's nearly a second down on Senna at the moment. So he could be on course to beat Jarno Trulli. Rounding the kinks of the last sector, braking hard for the final hairpin. And Klein crosses the line, goes 9th, so he beats Sebastian Bourdais. Here's Nico Rosberg, 6/10 down on the 2nd sector at the moment. Had a very disappointing qualifying session at Imola, and as a result didn't exactly race well. That was in stark contrast to his teammate, of course, who won. So Rosberg a bit under pressure here, and he goes 9th, so he displaces Klein down to 10th. Trulli goes 7th, so he improved his position. So he's another one that's upped his game after Boemi was more than on the pace at Imola. Hamilton completing a lap. Showed improvements in Imola. Mark Webber goes 6th. That is a massive improvement from the last races for Dark Wolf, who were near the back with Dodgem. PK at the moment, 1 second quicker. There are already talks at the moment that Valencia may alternate with another Spanish track, most likely Barcelona, but Jerez could be hosting a Spanish Grand Prix. It's understood that Valencia will hold the race in 2010, but it's likely that Barcelona will take its place for 2009. And 4 other circuits are discussing this idea. Bahrain and Abu Dhabi are discussing an alternating deal. And so are China and Korea. So we could see more races, more venues holding races over a 2-season period. with this swarm of tracks coming in towards FF1M nowadays. So Bruno Senna qualifies on pole position for Shannon, so he knocks Jenson Button off, down to second. Kimi Raikkonen is third on the grid ahead of Alonso. Vettel, the champion, fifth, outpaced by his teammate once again. Webber sixth, Pantano seventh, and Rosberg ninth on the harder tyres, so expect them to do better in the race. Bourdais just making the top 10 ahead of Hamilton. Disappointing session for Maldonado, down in 14th, and Andy Racing not as high as up as what they'd have hoping for. Genet down in 18th, slow compared to his teammate, and AJ making the back row. So the first race in Valencia is now underway, and Senna gets away, but Button gets away better. Alonso moves up to third as well, so the right side of the grid not getting away well at all. Button leads from Senna, Alonso, and the two Pedersens battling to the first chicane. Are we all going to get through safely? Looks like we are. And Raikkonen has stayed ahead of Vettel. Pantano in 6th has made it, and Webber's had an awful start from 6th, and he's dropped out of the top 8. Rosberg's had a good one to 7th. As we look at Alonso challenging Senna. So Jenson Button picks off where he left off before the 5 laps to go mark at Imola, of course, where his engine blew up. And Alonso already challenging Senna for second place. This is where the overtaking may happen, and Vettel is looking like he's... And the two Pedersens collide, and that was Alonso off as well. So I think he braked too late into that corner. Yeah, he did. And he's smashed part of his front wing off, so drama at turn 10. So here's Vettel and Raikkonen battling each other. Vettel up the inside. And the two collide. The Pedersens collide. Will we have any more incidents down here? It looks all clean so far. And Vettel is out of the race, so he couldn't rejoin. So all this moves Pantano up to 3rd place. Rosberg 4th. Trulli up to 5th for Mitchell. And Clean with a huge train of cars behind. He's holding up Bourdais and Webber and a shake and bake. And look at that, more action behind. That's Hamilton being pressured by an Andy Racing, or is that Maldonado? It is subtle, it's an Andy Racing, and she's been passed by Maldonado. So we've got action on the first lap. We've got Rosberg now challenging Pantano for 3rd place. He's gone round the outside this time, and it's been blocked off by the Tornado driver in the dark blue livery. The Tornado seems to be struggling with grip here. Now can Rosberg close up into the 3rd sector point? It's quite difficult to identify corner numbers due to the amount. That has a lot of Santander logos, so I could call that the Santander corner. And here we could see Robert Kubica taking Davidson into the new point. And he's taken 2 positions at once there. He's got alongside Maldonado as well. But now we see Jenson Button on lap 2. He's pulling out a lead from Bruno Senna, which is expected, as he is on the more durable and faster hard tyres. The last corner has got a lot of Movie Star logos, so we expect that one to be called Movie Star Corner. Into the first chicane. That has Santander logos as well, so I'll just refer to that as the first chicane. And that has Movie Star logos as well. And Jenson Button's gone off! He's crashed! Out of the lead! Jenson Button loses the lead, and Senna for Shannon takes the lead. And Button's thrown that away. It looks like it's just a mistake. The field streamed past him. Yep, it's just an accident, it's just a mistake. And Rosberg challenging Pantano. Oh, that was close! And Rosberg takes it. Just holding on to the racetrack. So Rosberg moves up into second place. Now we look at Clean challenging fourth place Trulli. Into the first chicane. I suppose being a Spanish Grand Prix, we'll name one of these corners after Alonso and possibly De La Rosa. Exiting the first sector into the swing bridge. We look at Rosberg now in second place, and he's closing in on Senna. He's taken 2/10 out of him in the second sector, so he's now only 2 seconds behind. Rosberg started 9th on the grid, of course, and he's made his way up to second, so it's been a good race from Rosberg. And look at this, moves into the third sector. Clean and Trulli. Look at that side by side at the kinks. And Trulli not giving up. Clean a bit slow out of there, and look, that's an X-Elite behind them challenging. It's Bourdais. And Rosberg's engine has gone. So the own engine for FJR proving a little bit fragile for him. Clean moves up to third. Senna moves back up into second. No, sorry, Pantano moves back into second, sorry. And the field stream past Nico Rosberg. And he was going so well as well. It's only lap 5. And we've got at least 3 retirements already in the form of Vettel. Alonso, we haven't seen back on the track, so he may be out as well. And of course we know Jenson Button is out of the race as well. Bourdais challenging Trulli into the second sector. Can he slow down for the corner? Yes he can. Bourdais up to 6th. Look at Hamilton, he's flying up the order, he's up to 5th. Look at Kubica now, challenging Trulli. Kubica on the harder tyres of course, and Hamilton closing in on Webber, who's on the hard tyres, and there's contact! Kubica's punted Bourdais off the track. And is there another car entangled with Kubica as well? I think there is. Yes, there was. So the order is still shaking out, and Alonso did rejoin from his first corner calamity. Or his first lap calamity, and he's challenging Genet for his 15th. He's in a slipstream now. He's going to try and get around the outside, and look at that power! FJR have got a very powerful engine, and now Alonso is trying to close in on the AJ now for 14th. So recap, lap 13, we've got, and Senna has been passed by Clean somewhere. He's trying to get back past him, but no, he can't do that. Look at that, Clean's run wide though, but Senna can't get alongside him. So recap, Pantano leads on lap 13 from Clean now. Senna is up to 3rd, and Mark Webber having a great race for Dark Wolf in 4th. And Senna is still challenging Clean back again. We've got a gutsy Brazilian here driving for Shannon. And there's the other Shannon of Maldonado, has stopped at the exit of the pit lane. 18th place Genet pits, and Sato pits as well. And Maldonado has got a puncture, we can see that on the screen. Alonso still making his way through the field at the expense of a Mitchell, that's tight. And he's had to back out of that one. But the Mitchells ran horribly wide there. It's Buemi, because Trulli's up in 7th. And up the inside into that corner, that's a brave one. And look behind him is an X-Elite. So Bourdais rejoined, and Suttle has just made a pit stop, we believe, and that's a Guy Racing that's spun. It's Kubica. So we'll see what happened here. And he's challenging Trulli, and he's tagged the back of him. He's just misjudged that one. I think Trulli still made the corner safely. And Senna's closing in on Pantano. Look at this. Bruno Senna is absolutely flying. The soft tyres are clearly working very well for Bruno Senna. He's only 2/10 behind. I don't need to tell you that, just look at it, he's right behind him. Clean 7 seconds behind the battling pair now. Hamilton in a superb 5th place, but the shake and bake has been very fragile. So can that 5th place hold on for him? Davidson up to 6th for Exelite, he started 16th on the grid. And Senna getting alongside at the exit of the first sector. He takes the lead, Bruno Senna leads. And with the pace that he's got, we can expect him to pull away now. Meanwhile, we've got Alonso challenging Yanni, and there's contact! And can Alonso? No, he spun that. Challenging Neil Yanni for 9th place. Kubica on a Mitchell again. And this time he makes it stick. Just about keeps it on the track. So that's proved a popular overtaking place as well. And that's an Andy Racing against... it's Suttil and Davidson. And Suttil moves up to 6th place, so Suttil having a very good race as well from 13th on the grid. Alonso outbraking Bourdais. I know that because it says his name on the side, so it must be with Exelite. And Alonso closing in on, I think that's a Guy Racing. And a Guy Racing up against a Dark Wolf. And he's run wide. I mean, lock his brakes. Pantano versus Clean for 2nd place, so the Guy Racing must have been Kubica that ran wide. And Pantano up the inside into 2nd place. Lap 31. Senna leads by 10 seconds. But Pantano's now closing in on Senna again. Now the hard tyres have come into play. And Pantano is closing in very quickly on Bruno Senna. Suttil's now up to 4th place, so he's jumped Webber. Webber hasn't stopped. Hamilton hasn't stopped. Alonso has stopped, but that was on the first lap for a front wing repair. And Alonso's up to 7th, so it's been a good fight back, and Kubica's going to get into another incident, and he's spun at the exit of the first sector, and look at that! That was Senna and an Exelite. Bruno Senna has... way, he's nearly touching the wall at the swing bridge. That was huge drama. Bourdais up the inside of Yanni. And Kubica up the inside of Yanni as well. So the shake and make driver dropping back a bit. Well, I wonder what happens there. I think Senna was lapping an Exelite, and the Exelite broke a bit too late and put Senna into a spin. Very lucky that he hit his side pod and not the front wing. And there we have Clean challenging Senna for 2nd place. We've only got 12 laps to go now, and Pantano leads. Webber and Hamilton have not stopped. So they're either running very deep into the race or trying something really crazy like a no-stop. Webber on the hard tyres and Hamilton on the softs. So yeah, we'll have to see how that one pans out. And oh no, look at that, Clean tagging the back of Senna into the swing bridge complex. There was just not enough room for a Guy Racing to get through at that point. Very lucky not to have spun the car as well. But now Clean's in the slipstream. Down into the corner after the back straight. But no, Senna defending well. It's like long straights and then complexes. There's never just one corner before you get onto another straight. It has to be more than 3 or more. And Clean's still challenging. They're lapping some traffic now. It's coming up behind an Exelite. Who knows if Pantano retires? And this could be the battle for the lead. Clean's right behind the Shannon gearbox. Can he do it into the last corner? No, he can't. He's got a better line into that one, as Clean. 11 laps to go. Can Clean get the inside at this corner? No, he can't. Both Andy Racing's in the points, 4th and 8th. So it's been a very good race for them two. And what's going to happen this time round? Clean trying the outside line this time. That's a brave one. Senna realising he's there, he leaves room, but Senna staying ahead. So once again, Senna proving to be a very tough but fair defender. McLean's right in the slipstream this time. He goes to the inside this time. No, he's not far enough ahead, and oh, it's going to be close. He's alongside him. Clean has taken second place from Bruno Senna. And Alonso right behind Webber, who still hasn't stopped. Alonso's already taken Lewis Hamilton, and right round the outside, Webber notices he's there. And ooh, Alonso backing out of that. Didn't want to become a part of the swing bridge. But now the back straight. We've seen Alonso power past Genet before here, and again he's done the same. Alonso up to 5th. Been a gritty fight back. He's made 2 stops. Of course, the first one was for his front wing change. And Alonso at it again on Sutil. So Alonso can get 4th place. Right inside into first corner. He tried that once before on another driver, but like the last time, he backed out of it. This is in front of his home crowd, of course. So maybe he was pressured to perform very well for his home crowd when he made that first lap lunge. But he's up the inside at Sutil now. He's up to 4th place. And if I'm right, if it stays like that, Alonso should take the championship lead. 7 laps to go. Now with no laps to go. Pantner is being caught up by Clean, but it's going to be too little too late. Pantner looks like he's got this race sewn up. And look how much Alonso pulled away from Sutil there. He's pulled out 18 seconds in 6 laps. And Webber and Hamilton, I believe, still have not stopped. So they've clearly gone a whole race on 1 tank of gas. Button's done it in the first 2 races. Now it's Pantner's turn. He takes the win. His 2nd ever win after his first one at Singapore last season. Christian Clean, consistent as ever, taking 2nd place. Senna takes another superb podium. He started pole, but the softer tyres hung on. Alonso 4th, Sutil 5th, Webber, Hamilton and Piquet completing the top 8, so both Andy Racing's in the points. Davidson narrowly missing out. The retirements, AJ's Heidfeld retired with a transmission, and in fact it's Clean that takes the championship lead for Guy Racing, having not won a race yet. Alonso takes Button, he's now to 2nd, and look at Senna in 4th place. He's only 5 points behind Christian. So Tornado lead the constructors from Guy Racing. At the moment it's just a 2-horse race, but watch out for FJR behind. 10 teams have scored points. We'll see you for the next race.